Ashton Kutcher just shook Hollywood to its core, and Brittany Murphy's ghost won't stay silent anymore. Honey, if someone had told us 5 years ago that Ashton Kutcher, the goofy dude from that 70s show, would be tangled up in one of the darkest, most disturbing, and downright sinister Hollywood conspiracies of our time, involving none other than P. Diddy and the tragic, mysterious death of Brittany Murphy, we would have laughed straight up, cackled, but here we are, and baby, the tea is scalding. Ashton's name just got dragged into the center of a swirling, deadly mystery. And let's be clear, this isn't just another tabloid drama. This is about cover-ups, this is about power, this is about a young woman who knew too much and maybe, just maybe, paid the ultimate price for it. And now, Ashton might be the key to blowing the whole thing wide open. Let's rewind. Brittany Murphy. She wasn't just another Hollywood starlet. She was magic, quirky, radiant, unforgettable. From Clueless to 8 Mile, she lit up every screen she touched. But behind the scenes, baby, her final months were terrifying. She told her friends she was being watched. She thought she was being poisoned. She changed her locks to fingerprint scanners. She stopped eating food from certain places. She felt like something horrible was coming for her. And then, December 2009, she collapsed in her bathroom. Gone, just like that. They said it was pneumonia, but no one who loved her bought that. And then things got even creepier. Because 5 months later, her husband, Simon Monjack, dead in the same house from the same cause, pneumonia, anemia. I mean, are we really supposed to believe that was just a coincidence? It sent the internet into a frenzy. Even people who don't believe in conspiracies couldn't help but say, hold up. And guess what made things 1,000 times sketchier? Simon Monjack had a past, a bad one. Fake stories about having brain cancer, lied about dating Madonna, told people he took shark fin treatments. Every single story was a lie. But here's the thing. Brittany was paranoid, for real. She wasn't just feeling sick, she was scared out of her mind. She knew something was coming. She told her dad, she told her friends, she even told her security. Years later, her dad paid for a private toxicology report, and the findings, baby, they were nightmare fuel. Arsenic, the kind of stuff you find in rat poison. Now bring Ashton Kutcher into this picture. Oh yes, we're going there. Most folks think of Ashton as the fun-loving prankster from Punk'd, but behind the Hollywood smile, he had some very interesting friends. One of them, Diddy. Yep, they were tight. Besties since the early 2000s. They threw parties, watched football, played the celebrity game together. And where there's Diddy, there are rumors of freak-off parties, of events where nothing was off limits, or someone told her something. Maybe she walked into a room she shouldn't have. Maybe she overheard something that rattled her to the core. And when people say she was blacklisted in Hollywood, ooh, baby, the receipts are coming out. Right after Brittany and Ashton broke up, and yes, they dated. Some even say they were engaged. Ashton suddenly went very public with Demi Moore. Guess who else was reportedly linked to Diddy's freak-off parties? Demi. Freaking Moore. So what really happened between Ashton and Brittany? Because the timing, suspicious AF. Now, here's the jaw dropper. After Diddy's recent arrest, Ashton's vibe toward him has reportedly shifted hard. Sources say he's been talking to investigators. He might even be cooperating. Baby, if Ashton Kutcher has anything, text, photos, videos that can link Diddy to Brittany's death, the whole damn house of cards is about to collapse. People aren't just whispering anymore, they're demanding, Ashton, what do you know? And let's talk about how hard people tried to bury Brittany's death. No major media storm, no massive investigation. It was like Hollywood wanted the story to disappear. And it almost did. Her mom, Sharon Murphy, and her husband, Simon, said it was just pneumonia, maybe anemia, maybe a cold. But when real investigators started asking questions like mold testing, Brittany's paranoia, even her own words, Sharon and Simon shut it down. No digging, no reinvestigating, nothing. That's not grief, that's a cover-up. And it gets worse. Sharon stayed in that house with Simon after Brittany died. And when Simon dropped dead too, she sold the house, vanished. No calls for justice, no tears on camera, just silence. But guess who didn't stay silent? Brittany's dad. He fought, he tested her hair, and what did the lab find? Toxic levels. We're talking barium, antimony, poisons found in rat killers, insecticides, even chemical weapons. So now, let's line it all up. A terrified actress saying she's being poisoned, her dying mysteriously, her husband dying the exact same way, a father who finds poison in her system, a boyfriend, Ashton, who had ties to Diddy, a world where Diddy is now facing federal trafficking charges. You tell me, coincidence or murder? And let's not forget, there's a rumor Brittany had recordings, something she documented, something she might have captured. She didn't know how dangerous that info was. She didn't realize how deep the rabbit hole went. And that might have sealed her fate. And now Ashton Kutcher, the guy who once kept quiet, might be ready to blow this wide open. So here we are, face to face with one of the darkest open secrets Tinseltown has ever tried to bury. And guess who's suddenly back in the spotlight? Not for a rom-com, not for a startup pitch, but for possibly holding the missing piece of the puzzle, Ashton freaking Kutcher. Now insiders, the ones who really know how the machine runs, are saying Ashton is rethinking everything, that he's cooperating with authorities, that he's reconsidering every friendship, every DNA-filled after party, every moment he spent in Diddy's shadow. And baby, if Ashton has proof, if he's got screenshots, messages, photos, or videos, he won't just be a witness, it'll be the nail in the coffin. Because Brittany's death, it was never just a medical mystery. It's looking more and more like it was a warning shot, or worse, a cleanup job. Let's go even deeper. Brittany's spiral into isolation, it wasn't just Hollywood pressure. The gigs dried up, the friends got quiet, she was suddenly out of the circle. Why? Because she said no, because she wouldn't play along, because she might have walked into one of Diddy's infamous parties and seen things that no actress with a conscience could walk away from without saying something. And the moment she even hinted at exposing it, she was iced out. And days before her death, she was frantic, like someone was closing in. She literally told friends she felt like she was dying, not metaphorically, literally. And when she collapsed in that bathroom, when her pale, scared body was rushed to the ER, nobody fought to find the truth. And now, Diddy's empire is collapsing in real time. And suddenly, the whispers from years ago sound like screams. Because Brittany wasn't the only one. There's another name that haunts this story, Kim Porter, yet Diddy's ex, the mother of his kids, also gone. And guess what the cause of death was? Pneumonia. Sound familiar? Just like Brittany, Kim was young, beautiful, paranoid in her final days. And just like Brittany, she was reportedly gathering evidence, prepping to write a tell-all, connecting dots, getting ready to go public. And just like that, she's gone too. And the creepy part? Diddy's own security staff even hinted that Kim's death was not natural. They claimed she had receipts, she had names, she had dates. She had stories that would have set Hollywood on fire. And instead of a memoir, all we got was a bland press release. But the ghosts of these women, they aren't resting. Because something's changing. People in Diddy's circle, the same people who kept their mouths shut for decades, are finally flipping. They're handing over text messages, voicemails, even old footage. And guess whose name keeps popping up in all of it? Ashton, not just as a party guest, but as someone who might have seen or heard everything. And some say he stayed silent for years because of fear. Others think it was guilt. But the fact that he's distancing himself now, that he's reportedly helping investigators, that tells us one thing: he knows. And here's where it gets even more twisted. People are starting to ask, was Brittany Murphy silenced? Was her relationship with Ashton the very thing that pulled her into the darkness? Did she discover something through him? Something that scared her so badly she tried to run? And did Diddy, or someone in his orbit, decide she was too dangerous to be left alone? If Ashton has proof of that, if there's even a hint that she was targeted, it would shatter the fake Hollywood image into a million unfixable pieces. Because what we're talking about now isn't gossip, it's criminal conspiracy. And don't forget the patterns. People don't just drop dead from pneumonia in their 30s and 40s. People don't just become paranoid for no reason. People don't tell friends they're being watched, followed, poisoned, and then mysteriously collapse if everything's okay. She was in survival mode. Fingerprint locks on her doors, eating only food she saw cooked in front of her, avoiding people, staying indoors. That's not a starlet having a bad week. That's a woman who knew something. And now, all signs point to the possibility that she was right. Hollywood has protected its monsters for decades, but the fortress is crumbling. And if Ashton Kutcher really steps forward, if he drops the act and starts telling the truth, it won't just be the fall of Diddy, it'll be a reckoning, a moment when the machine finally breaks. Because this isn't just about Brittany anymore. This is about all the women, the young actresses, the dancers, the assistants who were told to stay quiet, who were shut down, gaslit, ignored, silenced. This is about every girl who said something wasn't right and was told she was crazy. This is for all of them. And Ashton, he can either stay silent and live with the guilt, or he can be the hero who changes everything. Sources close to him say he's had a change of heart, that he's been sitting on something major, that he knows what happened, that he's seen things, and now that Diddy's being dismantled in real time, Ashton just might be ready to spill. So what does that mean for Brittany Murphy's legacy? Maybe, just maybe, justice is finally on the horizon. Maybe the woman who cried out for help, who died feeling alone, scared, and betrayed, might finally get the truth told. Because if Ashton Kutcher has what they say he has, and if he hands it over, then baby, this isn't just another scandal. This is the truth behind the Hollywood lie. And it's about damn time we heard it.